PTSD is like blank. What would that be?
PTSD is like a huge parachute on the ground. You're trying to walk in one direction and the wind is blowing in the opposite direction, filling up the parachute, keeping you from moving and walking. You just can't move, you can't do anything. You know where you want to go, but you know what? It's so difficult to take that step because you got the parachute is full of wind and it keeps dragging you back, further back and back and back. And then if you don't fight it and you fall and you fall with it, it's going to drag you. And that has been my problem.
In Brooklyn, New York, it's a rough neighborhood. You don't know what was going to happen when you step out of your house. Me growing up there was a challenge every day. The only ways out was playing sports, dealing drugs, or good at rapping, making music. But to the side is the recruiter's office right there.
The military gave me an opportunity to get out and reach some of those goals and dreams that I had when I was a kid.
Whatever I am is whatever I choose to make myself.
So many things I wanted to do way back when, and the only way I was able to do it was through the military. That was my window, gateway to the world.
Well, I mean, I think it starts when they're on the battlefield with a battle buddy, and then they're plucked off the battlefield after an injury.
In Iraq, in Afghanistan, you're out there and it's move, shoot, communicate.
The orders that you had to give, the actions you had to perform, some of the things that you had to do, it's not what a normal person would do.
You come home and your mind is still running 100 miles an hour. You're still thinking as if you're on a battlefield. You're looking around everywhere. You're so jittery. You're observant of everything.
Many nights I came home and I would have nightmares about some of the things that we did.
You're emotionally shut down because you have to be. But now you're home. Your kids are running up to you. Your friends are running up to you. Your loved ones are running up to you. And it's like, for a moment, you don't know how to process that.
He felt alone, and I didn't know what to do. I've never, experienced this before. Now
that we're back, I think it's kind of worse because I still feel like I'm outside the wire. I'm no longer under the umbrella of the military protecting me. I'm now a civilian trying to make it happen over here. It costs a lot of things. It costs the career, it costs me the marriage, it costs me the family.
The communication, the walls that are put up within themselves and family members that think they're helping, that want to reconnect, just don't know how to do it.
When we went with Higher Ground, I think it was a good benefit that we went because we met a lot of people that were going through the same things. I met other spouses that were going through the same thing I was, and I felt alone. I thought I was the only one. I was like, what am I going to do?
This trip down the Salmon River this last summer with the Higher Ground couples camp was it was a particularly impactful program. This group still sticks out in my mind. We just had a lot of aha moments. We had a lot of folks that really came together with camaraderie that have continued those relationships down the line. We had a lot of people that tackled their fears and overcame them in ways that I wouldn't ever imagine could have been facilitated in just a few days of activities.
Alex Bonilla and his wife Leslie, their experience on the river trip was maybe a little different than some, knowing that they really tested themselves, pushed their limits, and maybe even beyond their comfort zone.
With my fear of being in deep water because of a past experience where I drowned as a kid.
He always had that fear if he can't touch his feet, he won't float, Even since we've been together, we'll go to the pools with the kids or we'll go, to the beach. But he fears that he just sink.
When I had what I call a near-death experience, when I got tossed off the raft into the water and I was underneath and I came back up, my wife was there. And that was, to me, one of the biggest breakthroughs.
Those aha moments can be anything from accomplishing something that you never thought you could do post-injury, or maybe something you never thought you could do even before injury. And you're allowing yourself to trust other people.
Because after that, I was no longer tensed up and scared of the water. I actually embraced it.
To integrate the spouses of the injured service members and veterans is very important because they're the ones that are dealing with it on the home front. Their lives have been concentrated strictly just on that veteran and their quality of life.
it's an important thing that Higher Ground takes care of the combat vets and their wives, because that's my new team. You know, my wife is my new battle buddy. Not a day went by that we were empowered, not forced, but empowered to dig deep and search and process things, you know, deal with some emotions and some old baggage, if you would. And, you know, there was a lot of thinking, a lot of processing, day in, day night, even during the day, even at nighttime, even while I laid in the tent, sleeping in the sleeping bag. I was processing things. Wake up in the morning, processing things, you know, kayaking, paddling, processing things. So, yeah. One of the goals that I set when I left the trip was to get back in shape. Take fitness as a way to better deal and handle my condition.
He would go to the gym every day and stay there at the gym, and he would push himself.
And I have to say that since then, you know, my medication intake has been somewhat reduced. I've been able to function better just by simply relying on physical fitness.
1 year ago, would Alex have gone in the water?
Since coming back from Higher Ground, we brought back the whole experience we wanted to bring back the experience of the river adventure. We received the kayaks as our reintegration, and to me it was a lot more than just kayaks. It wasn't about the material. It symbolized what we overcame together. It lets us know of the challenges and obstacles we've overcome and what we can continue to overcome together. And that's something that I don't think I could have gotten anywhere else. I got with the help of Higher Ground, and it's something that we continue to do today.
Being able to get John back into something that he was extremely passionate about, being able to get him back underwater.
Kind of would like to kind of get back into scuba diving again. You know, that was used to be a family thing, and I think that would be a good way. It would be a good segue to kind of reconnect again with the families. Be able to talk to them again, see them again, spend more time with them. You know, interact with them more.
Most importantly, he's spending more time now with his kids. That was the biggest thing. One thing that he was more concerned about that actually took up most of his time and put him in a depression was the not spending time with his children.
And now I have my two younger ones, my 7-year-old and my 10-year-old son, involved in scuba diving.
It was amazing to see yesterday that he had a party at his house for his kid, and everyone had a good time. And that's something that he didn't see himself doing prior to the Higher Ground. He thought that that's it, there was no hope.
To be able to co-host my son's birthday party with my former spouse in my residence, I mean, that's unheard of, you know. And we were able to do that this past weekend. So I think there's room for growth for a lot of things, you know. And I think over time things will get better. Being able to reconnect with them again, you know, it's in its own way. It's therapeutic, and it has its own healing properties, if you would. So I have to say thank you to the entire staff at Higher Ground.
I don't think words can express how grateful we are. It's kayaks, and there is a price on the kayaks and the equipment, and it cost X amount of dollars, and we got it. But there is no price on what that has done for us.
We know where we were at a year ago and what helped us to get where we're at now. And we want to do that for other people, you know. We want to make them aware of things that helped us.
Don't look at it as I'm a disabled veteran and I'm home all the time. No, look at it as I've done my duty for my country. I'm at home now. I have plenty of time to give back and do something and help others.
For my future, I want to be fully integrated again with society, being able to function completely without having to rely on medication, and just take ownership of my recovery. Because really, that's what it comes down to. You got to take ownership of your recovery.
We're not where we want to be, but we're getting there. And every time I go out there and I talk to other veterans and I help other veterans, it actually helps heal myself. And it's just that good feeling knowing that I helped somebody. I didn't expect anything in return. I didn't need anything in return. And to me, I wouldn't have done that prior to this higher ground. This higher ground trip has done more for me than I think I could have done or than I have accomplished in the last few years.
There's still more things to change, you know. It's an ongoing process, you know. You never get to be the same person you were. If anything, you turn out to be a better person. You know, a lot of people say, well, I want to be back, you know, who I used to be. Well, I would tell you, I don't want to be who I used to be. I want to be somebody different, somebody better.